Um, be Africana here. We actually we've sewn our princess seam. You remember the top of we're continuing with the top of our the up of our top. So this is the princess seam sewn. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort of notch into it. As you notch, you get um as you get very close to the thread, you stop. You notch as you get very close to the thread, you stop. You notch as you get very close to the thread, you stop. And because it's curvy, you notch. Actually, you're supposed to actually notch on this part, the particular one that's curvier. You remember one is actually straight, then one is sort of curvy. That's where you notch. So the first stage of ironing is to um my my piece is actually it's wet, so I'm using it to add moisture to um my top. Then I take my iron. I'm using coal iron today. We don't have light, so it actually does not matter the kind of iron you use, because I have used all sorts of irons. you know I always get the same result. If I use electric iron, I get the same result. I use coal iron, I get the same result. It's actually the skill of using it, your skill, that makes an outfit come out good. It's not I've had some people tell me that, oh, if you use electric machine, is your clothes are better than if you use manual machine. That's not true. Please quote me. I've actually ironed as I've sewn, and I'm allowing it to cool a bit. You remember, we said when you iron like this, the thread sinks into the fabric and actually becomes one. That is stage one. And stage two is we open our seam. And in opening your seam, you make sure that everything is flat. If you have a fold of fabric, you're not going to get the finish that you're looking for. So you use your hand to sort of um, pull it apart. So even, okay, you ask what happens if you don't want to open, you want to iron it to one side. You still iron like this. When you've gotten your finish, you now actually sort of take it to one side, if that's what you want, but you have to iron like this. So you see my hand is actually opening as I go. I'm going to allow it to cool down, to actually for the heat to get into it. Then I now lift and use my clapper to hold it for a bit. I've actually had people come work for me that I teach these stages of ironing, and they sort of that's in my shop. That's the rule. We iron like this because um the quality of clothes that I like is actually of a certain quality. So you tell some people to do this, they actually skip a stage. They might just do not do it complete and tell you, oh, this is what I get. It's not possible. It's like a formula. If you iron like this, you're going to get this result. Now there are some fabrics that are more easier to iron than the other. I quite agree, but I've never met a fabric that no matter what I do, no matter if I do it like this, it comes out rough. It just isn't possible. The thing is, some fabrics, if you skip a stage, it might just come out. It might still be, yeah, okay. But some fabric, if you skip a stage, it just isn't okay. So it might take your time, it might this, but sincerely, it's worth it. So I'm almost at the end. I just open it, then I'm sort of wet, getting it wet a bit, then making sure that my everything is flat and it's looking nice. I'm looking at it as I'm going. You don't just do. You can't be careless here. So I allow it, and then I place my clapper. I hold it for a bit and I take it out. Then this is um the outer part. My hand is still going back in to make sure that my allowance lies the way it should. And then this time around I use my piece, open it up, and iron. As I lift, I put allow it for a bit. See, this is it. My seam, it's beautiful already. Then I'll do the same thing for the back, do the same thing for the lining, and then I actually have this is my flay here. This is my flay. I've actually cut the pattern we did. You remember the pattern we did? I've cut it out of fabric. Then I hair stayed everything, and then this part is the lining. I hair stayed everything on the face fabric, and the lining we actually did we did a gum stay at the tip like this. So we did a gum stay at the tip round. Now if this was a native fabric, I wouldn't be treating it like this, because this fabric is it's English, so that's why I'm doing this. Then we're going to actually use crinoline inside of this too, but the body, I like the body being having this finish. That's why I have it hair stayed. So every part of this blouse now is completely hair stayed. It's completely hair stayed. The lining, the upper part of the lining isn't, so this is it. What I'm going to do now is we're going to sew it down. After we've sewn, we'll iron. Then I'll let you see the next step. The thing is, let's get there, then I'll explain. Be Africana here. This is the peplum that the peplum of our top. This is actually the back, one part of the back. We've joined and ironed, but there's something that we didn't do here. I didn't edge stitch. Edge stitching keeps the lining inside throughout the life of the outfit. I didn't do that because I want to put crinoline at the down of this. We've actually hair stayed and added gum stay to the down, but I want a little something there to just give to just make the peplum richer, then normally when you sew, when you cut, in my cutting, the material and the lining, they are actually the same. After sewing, you iron, you discover that the inner one actually the linings actually like this. So what I did is that, or what I'll do is that I'll I already trimmed this one. You trim equal. Do the same thing at the front. Then I'm going to join it to become a circle. That's my seams at the sides. This is my back seam. If I put the two together, you will notice that my back is actually longer than my front. Professionally, that's how it is. If you have a look at your ready-made tops, that's what you see. The fit is beautiful. I sincerely can't wear clothes that don't have this. I can't. And if you know what I mean, when you wear an outfit that doesn't have that side curve, it just doesn't give you that fit. So this is it. Then the next thing I'm going to look at now is the top. This is the top. I've actually joined. I've joined my shoulders. The shoulder of the top I've joined and ironed. Then the shoulder of the lining I've joined and ironed to both. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to close the sides. So I close the side of this. I close the side of the lining. So the lining is separate. The top itself is separate. When we finish preparing that and iron, the top is going to be closed, then only open at the zip. The peplum is going to be the same way too. When I've done that, I'll let you see what it looks like. Be Africana here. This is the flare that we did before. So we've sewn it. This is the sides of the flare. This is the zip. The flare is one big circle now. The only part that's open is the zip allowance. If you look here, we've joined and ironed. Then we've done the same thing to the upper parts too. We've joined. The only place that's open is the zip allowance. So everywhere is closed. Look at the side seam. It's closed and ironed nicely. Then the lining, we did the same thing at the lining too. So what I'm going to do now is to join. So in joining, I'm going to join the flare, the peplum to the upper parts. So at this point, you have to cross check the measurement of your top to be sure that it's okay, it's right. Because if you don't cross check, you finish sewing and it's not, you have to lose it. The work, it's usually a lot of work, especially this one that we're locking everything in. So let me start pinning so that you see what I mean. This is the I'm matching seams. This is my side seam. My side seam is matching this others is matching the side seam of my top. Then you can have a little excess here. You can decide to run the peplum down, but I'm pinning like that because I'm using pin. I can actually get away with it. It's already ironed neatly, but drawing it down, actually it's easier. This is good too. Then you can't join, you can't do lining to lining, as in you can't do the peplum. You can't join the peplum to this, then the lining to the lining of the top. No, it's going to be everything. It's not, I'm not saying it's impossible, but that one, it's a little tougher than this, but if your hand, if you've been sewing for a long time, you can do it. You can actually do it, but I prefer not to do it here. So I'm pinning all through. You notice I'm actually pinning the joints. I think I have a little excess here. I have a little excess here at the front, so I'm going to just do pleats there. I don't know. I have a little excess here. I'm trying to. Okay. The front is a little more, so I'm going to just have a pleat here. Sort of. So the thing is, after I finish pinning round, after I finish pinning, I finish pinning round. After I finish sewing, my lining is going to come from here. My lining is going to come from here, matching my seams. My lining is going to come from here all the way, I'm going to run my lining and then lift it up. When I've done that, I'll let you see what it looks like. The Africana here. This is our dress. We've joined, and ironed. See what it looks like. This is the back. This is the inside. Everything is turned in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fix the sleeve. The sleeve, I want to use this lace for the sleeve. I want to use this lace for the sleeve. It's the same color. Having lace at the sleeve would actually give it a look, so I'm going to cut the sleeve now. I'm still thinking what I want to do to the neck. If it's what I'm going to do to the neck, I don't know. I want something. Then at the waist, we're still going to have, I don't know, I'm going to have a band at the waist. What we are doing is that I cut a piece of fabric, this material 3 inches. Now 3 inches. Now sort of sew it, iron it neatly, so it's going to be to give the waist a look that I like. Then I'm still thinking what I want to do the neck. I think I might probably just do a collar, not when I've cut and fixed the collar, I'll let you see what it looks like. Be African are here. I've actually finished arranging. I finished arranging. This is the head. See what I did here. This head now, this is long like this. What I did is I'm going to sort of wrap it into a tack like this. So everything here I placed. I actually took my time arranging. This is towards the edge. This is the end of it. I'm going to have hook, the other part of the hook here. I have the other part here. I just arranged. You arrange, sort of play with it. I keep looking at it. Is it okay? Do I like the way it's looking? Is it okay? Do I like the way it's looking? And I think I'm finally just good with it. So I'm going to use candle gum. This is my candle gum and candle match. I'm going to first hold it down, then I'll now tack. You know, this is either you do this or you use there's actually another method. Okay, I can't explain that without showing it. So I'm going to glue it down, then we'll now tack, put it in the cloth, then I'll show you what it looks like. Be African here.